feel like saying, are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. So today we'll do a metta meditation, and if anyone's looking at this, if they're new to the group and they've been a couple of times and they haven't done a metta meditation, it's just the old Indian word for loving kindness. So it's that non-romantic sort of warm feeling that we get that can be directed at a person or an animal or even a plant, or it can just be a sense of being in ourselves. We don't have to direct it outward. And metta meditation is taught by the Buddha in a very formulaic way, and it's done that way because we're practicing a skill, and it's like a runner runs the same loop every day and slowly gets quicker. We get more skilled at developing our ability to generate greater amounts of kindness and a stronger ability to focus that on people and to generate it. So we start every time with a very easy object, and we can start with the same object every time. So we build that pattern, and it could be something we know, someone we know, or it could be something in our mind. We could imagine a litter of newborn puppies playing in the kitchen floor or something, and we generate enough of that memory or image in our head to generate that warm feeling, and once we've got that feeling, we work on developing it. So we'll start by focusing on that first object for a few moments to generate that warm sense within ourselves. these thoughts correspond to that warm feeling that we have in maybe our chest, in our hands. We can work with it on the level of the body, on I think the word somatic level. We feel it literally and viscerally. We can develop that by focusing on that warm sensation. We can grow it in either its intensity or in its spread throughout the body. If it's a small ball of warmth in our chest, we can either make it a warmer ball or a bigger ball. We might find it's easier to think kind thoughts, and then we get that warm feeling in us, and we can practice different ways to see what works for us. And if something isn't working, we can try something else, and if something works one week, it might not work the next. So there's no real right or wrong way. So now we're already nearly a third of the way through this meditation. We can move to someone that we know, someone close to us, someone that we love. They can be alive or not alive. It's that thought of that person. And we can draw up a fond memory. We don't have to search. It could just be the first thing that comes into our minds, or when we think about them, a memory may spontaneously arise, and we can follow that and generate that feeling inside us. Again, with it being a felt sensation in the body, we can always use the breath. We can use visualization. We can imagine breathing in the kindness of the world. We can feel it filling our entire body. We can visualize it flowing into us throughout our body, into our arms, into our fingers. We can imagine as we're breathing in that energy is coming up through the floor, through into our feet and up our body. We can imagine as we breathe out that kind energy is radiating out into the wider world, into the people around us, and further afield. And it's okay to gently slow our breathing down if that helps us generate that warm, kind feeling in ourselves. We can now move our attention on to someone that we're quite neutral towards. It can be just the first person we think of. It could be someone that we regularly see working in our local supermarket. It could be someone we regularly walk past on our commute to work. It could be a neighbour that lives a couple of minutes down the road that we often see gardening and maybe wave to. But we wish them the same kindness that we wish to the person that's closest to us. We want them to be just as happy as everyone else in the world. We want to show kindness without preference, for wanting the people that we know to be better off than other people. We don't want that. We want everyone to be happy, and we want to extend our kindness equally to everyone. We can switch between kind thoughts and wishing people well, to moving inwards in the body, feeling that warm energy flowing in and out of us with our breath, or feeling it stay in our chest or our hands, or even our throat sometimes. If we feel it, we just note where we feel it, and we try and cultivate it where it is. If we're feeling adventurous and we have the energy, we can think about someone that we really don't like, someone that finds us, someone that we don't see eye to eye with, we disagree with, and this can be a person in our lives currently, or it can be a person that is in our past that we are somehow clinging on to, this memory of this person. And if it's a memory of a person, we're going to be wrong to at least some extent about our perception of who they really are, and we can spend some time thinking about how we don't know much about this person. We can maybe think about the good side that we've seen to them, or the good things we know about this person, and we can think about all the things we don't know about this person. Was this person married? Did they have children? Did he or she love dogs or animals? Did this person give to charity? If we don't know any of this, we don't know this person, but yet we have held this resentment, and we can use it to just let go a little bit. Maybe acknowledge the fact that we're holding on to a fictitious person, and we can, if not get rid of that, we can relax our grip a little bit over this concept of this person that only lives inside our heads. Now we're into the final third, maybe a bit longer, we can focus first on ourselves. Often this is quite hard. We can think about the things we've said and done this week. We can realise if we've been worrying about how what we've said, if it was taken the wrong way, if we accidentally upset someone. We can think about these worries that we've had. We can maybe recall a time that we weren't so skillful in our speech. We can recall anything that's happened recently, and if we're worrying about what we've said that's gone the wrong way, we can look inwards and think about our intention. And if we intended to speak with kindness, then we should relax and stop worrying, because it's happened, and the most important thing is we said what we said with a kind heart, and if we said something that was harsh, we can let it go. We can recognise what we said wasn't very skillful and make a commitment to apologise if we need to. But if it wasn't that big of a deal that we feel like we should apologise, that we can at least forgive ourselves for saying it. If it's not big enough to warrant an apology, why are we our own tormentor? For the last few minutes, we try and direct that energy outwards. Imagine it flowing out of our bodies, either breathing it out or it radiating out, or any way way we can see that it works. We imagine it, that kindness, going into the people around us, making the people around us happy. We imagine it leaving the building, going into the people walking down the path outside where we are, the people sitting in the beer garden, the people sitting in Fivery Park, or any of the other parks around here. We imagine it going into the room above with the small child, and just like when someone smiles at us and that makes us feel nice, we smile at someone else, that chain reaction of kindness can have a profound effect. Some countries are known for kindness, and for smiling, and it leads to contentment as a group of people, and that can be seen as something that we can help to cultivate in a very, very tiny way here. But when we think of it as tiny but significant, a real tiny improvement, then we know we're making the world in a very small way a slightly better place.